Hey everybody, this is Casey Bishop. I did my technology workshop on virtual and augmented reality in the classroom, focusing on the application HP Reveal. So my workshop lesson plan started off like this. We needed smartphones and devices and Wi-Fi and all this jazz. I did it last Friday morning because I have rehearsals every day before school and every day after school, and it was just really tight trying to get it all in there. Okay, so the lesson itself had several big parts to it. We did the introduction, made sure that everybody understood how to download and access the application, either on their desktop or on their phone, whichever they chose to do. So we talked about the vocabulary, and then I demonstrated a couple of the existing auras that I had already done. That's my cat that you hear. She's coming in to say hello. So then we got into what I called the 3 levels of usage. Level 1 was simply creating a static target with something from around the classroom and linking in one of the demo items that HP possesses in their library. Level 2, sorry, very chatty cat. Level 2 was a little bit more advanced and sophisticated and would actually be practical in an educational sense. They picked a excerpt from a reading article that our school requires to be done once a week, and they chose what they thought would be a good target. So it might be a vocabulary word the kids didn't know, or maybe a cultural term or phrase that the kids might not be aware of. Then they went onto their device or their computer and they found some text about that or an image about that. They snipped it or clipped it and screenshot it and put it into their photos. And then they were able to upload that image or text as the aura on top. In my example 2 that you see here at the top of the page, the one that I created in my demonstration was reading through Poe's Annabel Lee, a definition and a pronunciation guide for the word sepulcher. All right, in level 3, we really kind of went crazy and we linked YouTube videos to the targets in question. And this was a lot of fun because I got to go over how to convert a video from YouTube and how to download it and how you find it again and everything else. We made some really cool applications with this one. We talked about linking The Kidnapping of Mercy Carter by Carolyn Cooney to a video on YouTube about white children who were kidnapped by the Indian tribes during that same time period. And it was just a really cool opportunity to throw in some historical background. For Poops and Grins, I linked a video of Jim Knight and then linked that to the cover of the book Instructional Coaching because we can't get away from that book. So the teachers worked on trying to get that finished. What I learned so the kids had some ideas, so I'll come back to that in a second. The kids had some really great ideas. I thought this first one here on the top of the page I'm on was brilliant. How to work through a math problem. So the teacher could actually create the target on the top of the page, put a box around it, and then reprint the problem next to it as well. So the kids could work through it at the same time they're watching the demo on the video. And then this is great. The one down here at the bottom of the page, instant identification of allergens on food containers. Can you imagine being able to open up an app, scan any item in a grocery store, and the most common allergens, dairy, gluten, eggs, strawberries, red 40, whatever, pops up. I mean, people would have such a great time, well, maybe not great time, but an easier time going through and figuring out what they could eat and what they couldn't. Okay, so these were the resources that I used for my lesson. We have a giant poster maker at school, and so what was really, really fun was the fact that I could print this out and it was on huge, huge paper. So it won't look huge here, but it really was, I promise. Okay, so there we go. I used Canva from Jordan's class, if you remember back that far, to create that, which was a lot of fun. The second thing that I did, I had a second poster, did the instructional agenda, and then the handouts were basically instructions on how to get through each level. This was my website, kbishoptechpresentation.weebly.com, and this was actually a lot of fun to build, simply because, again, we learned that this summer in the first semester, and it was a lot of fun. So we went through, and I'll just kind of flip through it super, super fast, but it talked about Pokemon Go, which was very cool. Remember to cite all of your pictures. That's important. We get in trouble if we don't do that. The last thing that we did, so we talked about the different things here. In HP Reveal, we had the level 1, 2, and 3 tutorials. And so coming through these, it was further instructions. Same thing with level 2 and level 3. It was really basic directions actually, and then the specifics were on the worksheet, and then me walking around adding to people. The last thing that I put on here was the survey, and I did this through Microsoft Forms. We'll talk about that in a second. Linked that to the resources, of course. So there you go. There's that one. All right. So coming back to this one, things that I learned. I learned primarily that the technology in my school is not sufficient for the needs that we're trying to get done. We're in an older building in Cobb County, and one of the big problems that I am foreseeing is that all of our middle schoolers are supposed to take their milestones test online, and we couldn't even get 7 people on the school's Wi-Fi at the same time. The majority of the teachers in my presentation ended up using their own data so they could actually finish the workshop. One teacher got super frustrated and was kind of a negative Nelly the whole time, but it definitely highlighted some issues. So I'm planning on going in and talking to admin about what they anticipate doing to make up for that as we keep going. All right, so my narrative, yeah, that's what I learned. My narrative, it was cool. I learned a lot. So I based everything around the 5 levels in Thomas Guskey's Standard for Professional Learning Evaluations. And then I created charts through in Word going over the answers. And it was really the majority of the faculty really seemed to appreciate what we were doing. And it's being really funky right now. I'm not sure what that was. That was really odd. Okay, well, hopefully it doesn't do... Whoa. Hey, sorry about that. Yeah, go away. This is exciting. If you're still watching, this is kind of funny. Go away. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay, we'll just put that back. Okay, sorry, random thing there. The biggest thing that I learned in terms of putting all of this together was the idea that I think I paced it really well, actually. I had set goals. I had 3 big things that I wanted people to accomplish. The first one was a low ball, softball, where everybody should have been able to do it and do it well. Level 2 was just about as simple, but I still had 2 people who didn't finish. And then in level 3, which was attaching the YouTube video, I had a number of people not able to finish that one correctly. Several people have asked me for some additional help with that, so I look forward to working with them to do that. At any rate, y'all, I'm sorry I talked for so long. That was 8 minutes and 42 seconds. Without further ado, have a great night, and talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.